let's try this again and hope the cat doesn't ruin it again, because he's in a mood. Anyway, so I'm sick. Gastroenteritis. Doesn't matter. Point is, I was taking a nap, and I had a thought. Why is coffee sweet? Why do we make our coffee sweet? The basic drink is bitter, yes, so we add sugar and cream to dull the bitterness, but there are other things that dull bitterness. I'm not saying we should add chicken broth or soy sauce to our coffee, although I did add soy sauce to this coffee, which you can't really see because if I show you it's going to spill, but I add soy sauce to that coffee as well. These are croutons. And this is ground turkey. And I'm going to saute the turkey and the croutons, which have been marinating, in coffee. So how does that sound? I'm going to take a brief break to annoy the cat so that he'll leave me alone. Don't think that'll work for long. No, do not. Don't rub up against the cart. Anyway, I heat the pan, and while the pan is heating, I'm going to annoy the cat some more and hope that he'll leave me alone while I'm cooking. So the pan's hot. Time to add the turkey. Now since we're sauteing, the liquid that we're sauteing in is the coffee itself. To the coffee, oh wow, that turkey looks interesting. To the coffee, I added garlic and onion powders to taste. And just a little bit of soy sauce. We're also putting in croutons, which are not crispy anymore because they've been soaking in coffee. Perhaps that was a slight oversight, that they were going to get soggy. Ooh. And the turkey is a bit pink where on the inside where it didn't have access to the coffee. So do you think I'm crazy yet? Normally I have music playing in the background while I'm cooking, but sometimes my videos get removed because some artist or producer or whatever finds that they don't like their music being used in YouTube videos. Darned if I know why. Now this is an interesting view that I wish I could show you, but it took a lot to get that camera just how I wanted it. And it's a tablet, and it's propped up with a magnet underneath the case, and I had to get it just right. But actually, since I can pause and readjust, I can actually show you what this looks like. Yeah, I know it doesn't look like much. Doesn't look like much, but it's going to be tasty. I cannot guarantee that it will be tasty, but I can hope. And now I have to adjust the camera. So there's an interesting problem I've noticed. Because it's been cooking in coffee and soy sauce, I'm not sure how I'm going to know when it's done. Because you know turkey's done when it's brown. But it's already brown, and it's barely started cooking. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do to tell how it's cooked. Oh, it's starting to boil. Or bubble anyway. Don't bump the cart. Thank you. Kids and animals don't really believe that we have eyes in the back of our head. That's fine. So, yeah. Now, once the turkey is cooked all the way through, and the liquid has evaporated or condensed or done whatever it is it's going to do, I'm going to add some cheese and some peas. But I don't want to add the peas now, because I don't want them to soak up too much of the coffee. I want them to be that little spot of freshness that is a break from the coffee taste. So I'm going to wait until the liquid's gone before I add the greens. And we have some boiling. I shall start the camera again when the liquid is gone. Okay, so it actually smells surprisingly good, but it still smells like it needs something. So I'm adding a little bit of brown gravy mix. And of course moving all the way around the pan so we don't get a clump of gravy. That would be not very tasty. Mixing to incorporate. Tongs are a very useful multi-purpose tool I've found. For example, if you have a clump of meat in the pan that you're having trouble separating, you can stick the tongs down and let them come apart, and it separates your clump, so you don't have that problem anymore. Oh, yeah, see, there's one right there. In and apart. Alright, let's see. Yeah, that smells a lot better. We're having a bit of the bitterness issue that I can smell. So I'm thinking of ways to reduce the bitterness. What do we know will cut acid? Of course, there's sugar. But the point was to avoid sugar. Make something savory. But in this particular instance, I'm thinking a little bit of brown sugar if I have any. I'm going to go look through my pantry. You can tell that I'm on a diet. I don't use a whole lot of sweet things, so I don't have brown sugar. I only had it for my pumpkin pie recipe, but I do have powdered milk. Milk may help cut the acid. So wouldn't that be nice? And then we incorporate the powdered milk. Give it another sniff test. I really wish I had mushrooms to add to this. I don't, but I wish I did. Ooh, the powdered milk is clumping. That's not what we want. It's not what I want anyway. I don't know, I'm not going to make any judgments. Maybe you like clumps of powdered milk in your food. Maybe it adds a pop of something. Personally, I'm not a big fan. So hopefully the heat and the coffee will help break it down. I have added powdered milk to coffee when I've run out of creamer, and you get the same problem. But I thought the powdered milk would be more concentrated than actual milk. Let's see. Already less bitter, and the powdered milk has not yet dissolved. So see, you don't have to add sugar to reduce the bitterness in things. Sometimes you just need a little milk, even in its powdered form, or cheese, which I'm going to add later, probably going to add shredded and some Parmesan. So I'm going to pause again until we're ready for the next step. Okay, so it has occurred to me that because I added the gravy mix, this is going to be very, very rich, heavy, flavorful to be sure, but one could not eat this with some peas and cheese. So, I've got some water boiling because I'm going to make egg noodles. Thinking egg noodles and peas should tame the super powerful flavor that we have here, which, by the way, I have not tasted yet. So this is going to be interesting. Let me grab a spoon. Okay. A little bit scared, not gonna lie. Here goes everything. Wow. Oh no, there's the coffee. Definitely gonna need the cheese. I'm thinking Parmesan and some shredded 3 cheese. So I just remembered, in the crock pot, because I've been sick, I have chicken broth, which I have fortified with some protein powder. You can use regular chicken broth, but I am going to stir it up to get some protein powder in there. And this is 1/4 cup. So 1/4 cup chicken broth, fortified or otherwise. See if we can't further tame that coffee bitterness. I'm thinking the protein powder more than the chicken broth, but who knows? The noodles are in the pot, by the way. So yeah, I'm just hoping I can remember everything that I have put in here so that I can put it in the description box below, since I always have my recipes as precisely as I can give them. Alright. Now let's... Ooh, come on. Stay put. Now let's try. Well, it is definitely meatier with the chicken broth, and there's less of that coffee kick. I want the flavor of the coffee, I just don't want the bitterness, which is what I'm talking about. So there's less bitterness with that little, just 1/4 cup of chicken broth. And I don't know if it's the broth or the protein powder. It could be the protein powder because it's made with soy protein. It's actually Herbalife. The only Herbalife product that I have right now. And that's actually almost last. It only got like half a scoop left. Woo! Hello. That's water. So yeah. Small kitchen, not a lot of counter space. The noodles shouldn't take that long to cook because they're egg noodles. And I don't want to use the same tongs. Fortunately, I have 2 sets of tongs. These aren't quite as long as I would like. Let's see if this egg noodle, ooh, it's done. Ooh, hot. There you go, cat. Have an egg noodle. I don't think there's anything in there that'll kill you. Well, they're certainly soft. Color's not quite right, so it might not be done. Yep, the cat concurs. Either that or it's too hot. So yeah. Throw that away, and I shall start the video again when I add the peas. But this time I'll be adding them, actually I'm going to add them to the pasta water since the noodles are almost done. And this time I'm not going to add all of the can, because with one person I found that if you add the whole can, the peas tend to dominate whatever it is that you're cooking. Even though we need a little protection from that coffee bitterness, I don't want to have peas with a side of egg noodles and turkey, so I'm going to put these away. In a Tupperware, of course. Right then. So we have our egg noodles and peas. We're going to put some in there. Not as much as I would normally eat because I'm sick. So we've got that. Then we spoon some of the coffee mixture on top. And the thing with having something that's super flavorful is that you're likely to eat less of it, which if you're trying to lose weight, is a very, very good thing. So, there's that. Now for the Parmesan. And I'm going to taste it before I add the shredded cheese, because I don't have a whole lot left, and I'm trying to conserve what I do have. Yes, I'm setting the bowl right next to the camera. You can see the little purple edge there. So I'm trying to conserve what little shredded cheese I do have. I'm going to try it without first. So there it is. We're going to mix it up. Woo, hot bowl, hot bowl. Mix it up. Note, I did not combine them in the pots, because you want them separate. You don't want the coffee gravy turkey mixture to saturate the noodles before you're ready to eat, because then they won't be that relief that you need. Alright. No, I'm not procrastinating. Why do you ask? No, we need this shredded. Hang on. It's still bitter. So we're going to add some shredded cheese on top. And it's still hot, so it should melt pretty nicely. Sorry for the not full body shot there. Alright, let's see if the shredded cheese can tame the bitterness. Now, most people can probably handle this without the shredded cheese, but I'm autistic, so my palate is more sensitive than others. So we're going to add it in. Let it melt a little bit because it's still warm. I think in hindsight I should have drained the coffee off of the turkey first. Just marinade, not use liquid. It's kind of like a mole, actually, when you add the cheese. Yep. If you're going to make this at home, drain the liquid off the turkey. Don't include it. That's my tip for you. So, be adventurous.